Hello, this is Rudy Bischoff with HardcoreSurvival.com, and this is my video, The Trilogy of Survival Tools. Welcome. I see you have joined our HardcoreSurvival.com alliance and are now a member of our HardcoreSurvival.com community. I look forward to a long association and will sincerely do my best to provide you with vital training about the tasks of survival. My goal is to help you to become a survivor and be ready and able to face the coming challenges and come off the winner. There are many scenarios that could potentially alter your peaceful existence in today's world and leave you struggling for your life. This video will share with you what I consider to be the greatest survival secret of all. And here is the secret. Make sure you have the right survival tools, make sure you have them when you need them, and know how to use them. This video will give you some sound advice on what the tools of survival are, how to select them, and how to care for them. Further training videos will teach you how to use them in performing the necessary tasks of survival. But first, let's talk a little philosophy. Now, where do you envision yourself doing all this surviving? Let's say that it finally happens. The end of the world as you know it. Elvis has left the building. The poop hit the fan. Where will you most likely be? Here? The world as Adam knew it? The wilderness. Here, the needs of survival tools run more to the tasks of processing firewood, shelter building, fire making, hunting, trapping, and skinning animals for food, and constructing camp implements and furniture. These things are accomplished with the natural materials at hand. The skills and techniques used in the wild are popularly called bushcraft or wilderness survival. Self-defense needs are less likely in the wild. There are very few humans, and the animals still have a natural fear of man. Or will you be here? The post-apocalyptic world. Surviving in the urban-suburban world post-catastrophe may seem different from the wilderness, but it is similar. The same basic needs of shelter, fire, water, and food must be met, but the use of man-made materials and structures, refuse, debris, and remnants is prevalent. In this environment, the knife may play an additional role as a defensive tool, both from man and domestic animals gone wild. The skills and techniques used here I call burbcraft, urban-suburban survival. You'll hear more about these two words, bushcraft and burbcraft, as we go along. The main difference between them is your location. Are you in the bush or the burbs, which is a nickname for the suburbs? Another difference is of very minor importance, and that is style. Kind of a leather versus kydex thing. And kydex is a tough thermoplastic material used for form-fitting knife sheaths. Why does this matter? Well, as far as tools go, it doesn't really. In regards to techniques and methods, there are greater distinctions, so it's good to give this some consideration now. At least wrap your head around the thought. Well, what is this trilogy anyway? It's a system of tools that was developed by this old gent, George Washington Sears. Old George here was a writer for the Forest and Stream magazine in the 1880s. Went by the pen name of Nessmuck. He was a pint-sized fellow at 5'3" and 103 pounds soaking wet, which probably happened a lot. See, he was big time into canoeing. He even had a special lightweight canoe made as he couldn't carry the big heavy ones of the day. He could well be the father of ultralight backpacking and camping. In his own words, "Before I was a dozen years old, I came to realize that a light hatchet was that means indispensable condition, however you might say it, in woodcraft. And I also found it a most difficult thing to get. I tried shingling hatchets, lathing hatchets, and the small hatchets to be found in country hardware stores, but none of them were satisfactory. I had hunted 12 years before I caught up with the pocket axe I was looking for." As a word to knife or knives, these are of prime necessity and should be of the best both as to shape and temper. The one shown in the cut is thin in the blade and handy for skinning, meat cutting, or eating with. The strong double-bladed pocket knife is the best model I have yet found, and in connection with the sheath knife is all sufficient for camp use. Now, Nessmuk might have been the one who defined and promoted the usefulness of these tools, but their use, of course, goes way back in time. In America, perhaps the best example is the mountain man. He ventured into the wilderness of the American West and carved out an existence with his axe and knife. The gun and flint and steel came in mighty handy as well. He was confident in his ability to handle whatever might come his way, and having his possibles, of which the Trilogy was vital, made it a sure thing. They are every bit as useful today. Nessmuk's idea was that we shouldn't go into the wild to rough it. We should go out and smooth it. He wrote a book called Woodcraft and Camping and taught folks how to do just that. Now, he knew that to smooth the wilderness you'd need some tools, and you need more than one kind of tool to do the job right. He figured that a fixed blade knife, a hand axe, or pocket axe as he called it, and a pocket knife with a couple of blades ought to do the trick. He designed his own hatchet and sheath knife and had them custom made. He added a large pocket knife of the day, and the Trilogy concept was born. With this trio of handy tools, he set out to smooth the wild. You could call him the father of bushcraft. Nessmuk preferred a smaller, thinner blade, good for cutting meat and eating. Nessmuk has a bit of a following today, and some have had their own versions of his Trilogy custom made. I've been teaching this combo of woods tools and survival preparedness for over 35 years, and it's just recently caught on with many other instructors. The concept is spot on. With these tools, you can pretty much take care of your survival needs in any situation. This trio of tools has applicable use in the urban-suburban post-disaster burbcraft environment as well. My personal Trilogies, and I have several, are a little different than old Nessmuk's, as I think his knife looks a little dippy myself. And I've got no use for a double-bit axe. I like the distance between my eyes just the way it is. I will show you 3 different versions of the same idea: a bushcraft outfit, a burbcraft setup, and one that fits both venues. There you have it, the Trilogy of survival tools. A hatchet and 2 knives, a fixed blade sheath knife, and a folding multi-blade pocket knife. Now, add 2 more tools and you could rule the world: a folding saw and a packable shovel. I don't really know about ruling the world, but you could sure survive what the world might throw at you. The Trilogy should be the heart of every survival pack.